Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Phantasy Star 2. In the last episode, we took on the Esper Mansion, which revealed to us the final 4 dungeons we need to complete to unlock the finale of the game. It's a similar situation to the dams on Motavia, where we can technically complete them in any order, but due to the difficulty of enemies, the complexity of the dungeon, so on and so forth, there is very much a recommended path to go on. With that said, even the earliest of the dungeons is rather complicated, rather difficult. I have actually tried to start this episode twice over, and both times I died very quickly. Or not very quickly, but I died before I could really do anything. So, in the time since, I've stepped back, I've gone and grinded, leveled up a bit. It turns out the first dungeon, Menobe, is great for grinding because enemies drop loads of experience despite not being particularly dangerous on the first floor. And so we've gone everyone up about, at the very least, 2 levels. A couple of them have gone up 3 times. So whereas before we had characters on like level 18, level 19, and now all level 21 or above, which is still below what the guide I'm following recommends, but then the guide I'm following has started to get a little bit weird with what it recommends you do anyway. So, we are still fully stocked up on trimates, more or less. Yep. I have moved a couple of items around just to make things a little bit safer. For example, I'll give the escape pipe to someone like Kane. Just it means that, in my experience, Rolf and Ruda are usually the first to die because they're targeted more often, and in the situation that happens, it's best that the other 2 party members have something to get them out of the dungeon. But with that said, let's head over to Menobe. Again, there's no clarification on how you're supposed to say any of these names, so it's just kind of guesswork. Here it is. It wasn't there beforehand, you had to go through the Esper Mansion to unlock it. And we're going to each of these locations to grab 2 Nei items in each one. Sometimes it's armor, sometimes it's weapons. They are kind of your end game items. They're a massive buff over everything else in the game. You just want to stock up your party members with as many of them as possible. Unfortunately, we've ended up with a party with a couple of problems when it comes to equipping them. Firstly, we have Anna on our team, who rather annoyingly doesn't actually get to use very many of the Nei items at all. She's the one female party member that doesn't really get access to many of them. Sia and Amy get loads of Nei, get to use pretty much every single Nei item in the game that the female characters can use, while Amy, on the other hand, no such luck. So that's rather annoying on our end, but we have to go and collect them. Collecting the Nei items, all 8 of them in these dungeons, is mandatory. We can't skip them just because our party members can't use them. And then on the other side, the men of the party, pretty much all of them can equip everything, so it's a case of we have to decide who's going to get what. Yeah, hopefully these wrestlers and Mr. Capes, not too bad. The real scary enemies in this dungeon are like these shadow enemies. They deal a huge amount of damage and are fairly tanky for what they can do. And then especially, something that we're going to see later on, are these dragon enemies, and they're terrifying. They can deal 60 damage a single attack. They can two-shot pretty much anyone in our party, so a very dangerous enemy and incredibly tanky at that as well. So that's an annoyance. I think luckily they only appear on the top floor of the dungeon, so on that side of things, we do have to be pretty unlucky to run into them. It's not like they're a super common enemy. The shadows are slightly more dangerous in that regard because they are a lot more common. Now, Menobe is probably the simplest of the dungeons. It helps that we are actually, as much as there are 4 chests in the dungeon, we are only bothering to collect the ones with the Nei items in them. There is also a storm gear and a colour scarf in this dungeon, and in previous episodes I would have taken you to them. Oh, damn it. This is the problem fighting these MX dragons. I don't know whether that's supposed to be mixed dragon or something, but they're terrifying. They can wipe our party out, so it'd be really good if we could just run away, but we can't. So we're just going to have to fight and hope for the best. Let's maybe get Rolf to use a technique. Nafoy. MX Dragon. Because, like, look how quickly we can be wiped out. Oh my god! Oh. Right, we're going to need to get Anna using a Trimate in the next turn. This is our best chance to get someone to act before they do, but yeah, this is why they're so scary. Oh, please don't attack Rolf. Oh, thank god. Very tanky, but luckily they aren't hugely... It's like a lot of the enemy robots. They're very tanky, but only in so much as they have a load of defense. In terms of actual HP, they're pretty weak. Luckily, we do get a ton of experience for defeating them, but oh, it's a scary sight to be going through it. Right, who needs a full heal? Okay, Rudo can just get away with a Guy Res. Anna's going to need a Trimate. Yeah, as you can see, oh, very scary enemy to fight, and it turns out that they're not just on the top floor as well, which makes things a bit worse. Right, use Anna. But at least we have figured out a strategy to dealing with them. We just have to use our Nafoy ability. The problem is, it's been so long since I've had to use any abilities from, like, the spell menu instead of just equipping an item to do it, that I kind of forgot that that's, like, an entire part of this gameplay loop. Like the spells and all the rest of that. You just don't use them very often. They're hugely outclassed by just attacking enemies with your basic attacks pretty quickly. Right, the dark sides are scary. You can see that they do a lot of damage. Standard wisdom is just if anyone drops below 100 HP, that's when you go heal them. Luckily, the Sakoffs and the wrestlers and that kind of genre of enemy is pretty weak in comparison, so I'm not too worried. Oh, okay. Okay, they are doing a lot to Kane. I didn't realise Kane had gone that low. But I would like to, like, go back to the strategy board so I can... There we are, get Kane to heal himself. Alright, I am kind of trusting they're not going to attack Kane. But then Kane is basically our... We need another party member to stick him in there. Character, so... I'm feeling pretty lucky we're just sticking the Aegis on. And hoping for the best. Rudo is poisoned, that's kind of annoying. But at the end of the day, he's another character who can just heal himself using his Cresser gear. Though I think he's probably going to need the Trimate. Because yeah, he's not going to get an opportunity to heal himself. Lots of experience points, that's a good thing, so characters are leveling up pretty easily in this dungeon. And I recommend just going for the first character and healing them up that way. What, you can't use items? I suppose this is a situation to actually use one of the antidotes we got really early on in the game and just haven't touched since. Finally, we actually used those items. Did it still use the Trimate up, though? That's nasty. Right, Rudo. There you are, you get healed. And, you can also get a Trimate. I've learned that I need to save Rolf's TP for potentially fighting dragons, because running away in this game, no point in doing it. It's incredibly low chance of actually working. You basically, if you end up in a random encounter, you are doing the random encounter. There's no way around it. Past like the first 2 dungeons, running away just becomes so unlikely that it's just not worth trying it, you know? But anyway, along here, down this path, suddenly loads of trees on the top 4. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to symbolize, but there we are. We skirt around the edge of the dungeon, again using our trick to reduce enemy encounters a lot. Obviously not perfect, we are still running into fights, but it is a lot better than we would be doing otherwise. Right, gonna have to get everyone doing different things. Nafoy on the MX Dragon. Rudo and oh, Kane's lower than I remembered him being. That could go poorly. Right, Kane, you're still going to heal yourself up once more, but Rudo, you're good to just attack. Fight the MX Dragon, they're a lot scarier than the Imagine Mage. I'm assuming that's supposed to be. But that MX Dragon needs to go away immediately. Super dangerous enemy. Again, not hugely tanky, but very dangerous. Right, and now you're back to using Storm Gear. I think everyone should be good to just carry on as they are, unless the MX Dragon survives, in which case could do nasty things to Anna, but he is dead now, so that is good. Imagine Maid's pretty tanky. Rolf, just go back to fighting. You can see why at this point in the game, every guide is just like, yeah, just grab a load of Trimates and just burn them in every dungeon. We are going to restock between grabbing items here. In case you're curious, we're not going to try and do this all in one go. We're going to grab our Trimates and so forth. Yeah, we're going to grab our Trimate, we're going to grab our first Nei item, leave the dungeon, restock, get all of these new Trimates, come back, get the second Nei item. That's the way that pretty much everyone I've seen talk about the game recommends doing it, just because you're basically walking in different directions to get to them. They're not really intended to be collected in a single go of the dungeon. Ah, why do you always attack first? Even to this point in the game, I don't understand how speed works. It seems really arbitrary. You just kind of have to hope that they attack various characters. They don't all just target one character, because that can go really poorly. They're not hugely tanky. I think they might be oh no. Oh no. Kane, I'm sorry, but you're probably dead. But try and heal yourself up. Okay, good. You're attacking Rudo, you're attacking Rolf. That's good. That's good. And you're still not going down. Okay. Lots of experience points, but again, if you're grinding in this dungeon, just stay on the bottom floor. Don't start climbing up, because things can go wrong very quickly if you do that. Trimates. Basically everyone. Yeah, Trimates for everyone. Rudo, you get a Trimate. Anna, you get a Trimate. Kane, you get to use one of your Trimates. Try and get through the menus as quickly as possible, but it's an annoyingly lengthy process. Again, we're very close to the first Nei item now, so we probably could have risked it, but I've thought that in the past, on my previous attempts at this, and it was not well advised, so we are going to play it safe, as we hopefully come to the final staircase, and then Boom. That's it. Rolf has found the Naimet. This can be equipped to pretty much any of the male characters, I think. Let's see. If we equip it to... Actually, I think we want to equip it to Kain. Give him some survivability. And then we'll give the chest to Rudo, because he is our tank. And then I'm afraid that Rolf is just going to have to stick with the Mogic cap. I think Kain can use the Naimet. Let's see. This would be a very big defensive upgrade if it does work. So check our defense. Kain takes Naimet. And it goes from 168 to 202. So a big upgrade. And we perhaps we'll move it around, figure out who it works best on in the future. But for now, we'll just give it to Kain. Because at the end of the day, he's basically our Trimate bag. We're just going to dump him with all of the Trimates and then leave him to it. We use Hinas to escape the dungeon, and we can basically just walk back to Alkbar. Right, I'm going to go stock up, I'm going to go heal up, I'm going to go buy a bunch more Trimates, and then we'll go back into the dungeon and go and grab the second Nei item. So I'll see you guys in just a moment. Right, we're back in Menobe, however you want to say it. Like I say, there's not really any sort of pronunciation guide to any of these locations. At the end of the day, half the time, they're called different things in different countries. We have moved some things around. Rolf is now the character using the Nei helmet, because I realised that Kain, basically one use is to use the Storm Gear, and that's a headpiece, so by giving him the Nei helmet, we basically removed his one reason to still be in our party. So he's been given the Storm Gear back, and then Rolf has been given the Nei helmet, and we'll just swap it out for the Mogic cap every time we enter a town. Alright, Orangus and Wrestlers, not hugely dangerous. Kind of annoying to fight them first, because it means that everyone gets a bit damaged from the get-go, because they do act fast. But it's only minor damage, so we're not too scared. Oh, and we're fully stocked up on Trimates again, more or less. But we're not going to use one of those, we're just going to use a res on Kain at the end of the day, because he's only just gone below 100. Right, next item. Actually, you can see it, that chest down there is the chest containing the Nei crown. It is, for us at least, a completely useless Nei item, because as much as it is a crown, which is the female headgear in the game, the only character able to use it is Amy the healer, and she is not in our party. We are not going to be putting her in our party. So rather annoyingly, as much as this is a mandatory item to collect, it doesn't actually benefit us at all. But again, we need it. We're going to grab it. It's going to take up a slot in our inventory, which means one less Trimate, so even on that front, it negatively impacts us, but we do what we have to do at the end of the day, and we have to go grab it. And I realise that I don't think I've actually re-equipped Rolf with the Nei helmet. I think he's still using the Mogic cap. So once the Mr. Cape is defeated, shouldn't be long, there we are. Got a load of experience. Then we go into Rolf. Yeah, he's still using the Mogic cap. There it is. I was about to say, where's it gone? And as you can see, a massive defensive upgrade for him. I think the Mogic cap gives us very little defense in the first place, so it is slightly thrown off by that. He wasn't using up-to-date gear, effectively, but even so, big boost to our defense. Should make him significantly tankier than he was beforehand, so very happy to get that defensive upgrade. The statues, I will be honest, are really weird hitboxes. It's like it extends a step beyond what the usual back of a hitbox does. Usually extends beyond, but whatever. I don't also really know why Menobe has so many statues. I don't know why it's all statues on the first few floors and then all trees on the final floor, but whatever the case is what it is. I want to see someone attack Rolf, because I want to see just how much tankier he is now. He should be a bit of a brick house. Unless the game disappoints me again. Oh, come on. That was still like 22 damage. I suppose the out talons are very damaging normally, but like, come on, man. I was expecting more than that. Oh, damn it. I'm convinced they just make the stats up, because I'm looking at this. Rolf's defense has just gone up. It's practically doubled. Well, not doubled. But it's like, it's gone up like a good 50, 60 points now. And he's still taking practically the same damage as he was beforehand. I'm convinced they just make the stats up. I mean, obviously they do it to game, but, you know, beyond that, I'm convinced they make the stats up. Right, everyone gets Trimates. Right, we weren't the smartest with our use there. I realised as we healed them that there were a few characters we really could have just used the Guy res. Or the, even a basic res on. But at the end of the day, we have so much money at this point. And the items are so unaffordable that we might as well just sit here and go and grab everyone. All of this new stuff. I mean, right, okay, that's in front of us. That's a colour scarf. They don't sell for anything, but seeing as it's just right there, we might as well grab it and go and sell it. But it's still going to be like 500 Meseta. It's nothing. Mr. Death, a very scary enemy. You've seen how much damage the shadow enemies can deal. Mr. Death, I think, is like the final form of that type of enemy. You know, because every enemy type in this game is like tripled. There's like 3 different versions of each enemy. But it's a good thing that they're fighting or hitting our tankiest party members. Much rather they go for them than they, you know, go for Anna or Kane. Right, with that, we go through. I believe it is this staircase. Staircase number 4. Then from here we go around, being very careful because now dragons can start spawning if we're unlucky. It's not a huge distance to the staircase though, it's just right by there, so go down it without incident. We continue along this way and I think we're pretty much on the way down the tower towards the Nei Crown. Go through there. Right, and then through staircase 6, we go this way. There should be staircase 7 by there, yep. And then from there, we're at the chest we saw, okay. We're nearly at the chest we saw earlier, but luckily it's just a bunch of Mr. Capes, so no real threat at all. I'm fine with fighting these guys. They're not very scary at the end of the day. Especially because as soon as we grab this chest, we're leaving. Leaving, restocking, going on to the next dungeon. It's basically just a bunch of experience points. We grab it, Nei Crown. We might as well give it to Anna and see whether she can equip it, because I am seeing a bit of conflicting information on whether she can equip it, but I'm not holding out hope. If nothing else, she has the emptiest inventory, so we might as well give it to her. Just to free up space for everyone else. And I can't take Nei Crown, yeah. So unfortunately, defensively, she's kinda stuck at the level she is. I don't think she's really going to go beyond what she currently has. Which is a bit of a shame, but there we are. And with that, significantly, I'll be honest, a much easier path than the first item. That's because they realised it's way worse. We can now teleport out of the dungeon, head over to the town of Alkbar, get into one final fight against an aero tank. Wonderful. My least favourite robot in the game. At least that we've seen so far. I think we've seen most of the robots. Sort of like maybe a boss or 2. So it's rather annoying, but we'll take him out. We'll head to Alkbar. We'll stock up, heal up, save up, then travel to the next town, which I believe it's Ryuon we need to go to next, but whichever town it ends up being, I'll see you guys there. Well, here we are in the town of Ryuwon. This is the town you need to be at to continue onwards to the next dungeon, Guaron Tower. In fact, realistically, you'd probably be coming here anyway, because this is where I go to buy the Trimates. The town of Alkbar this entire time has not had them. So, to get to Guaron, we apparently need to leave Ryuwon. Well, of course we need to leave Ryuwon, and it's to the northeast. Notably, very north, slightly less east. And I've come out here and I realised I want to get new to equip rope with the Nei Items, because we've had to, of course, use the Mojic cap. Luckily, these guys are not very scary at all. Don't do much damage. In typical fashion, we do just barely enough damage that they get one final attack out before dying. Infuriating. But anyway, equip Roth. Once again, everyone's fully stocked up on Trimates. Oh, and we didn't sell the Colour Scarf. Actually, before we progress, I am going to go and equip Mojic Cap. Sell the Colour Scarf, because actually we do need one extra inventory space for what we're doing. I have slightly, in fact, overstocked in Trimates. I need to come out here. Come in here. Sell the Colour Scarf. And then we'll actually heal up. Yeah, we'll heal up using the money we just made, so that we effectively erase Rougeau's little trip. And then we're good to go. Again. Once we've equipped the name. Okay. Now we're good to go. Now we've added 50 extra defense to our main party member. Now we're good to head over to Guaron. Using, of course, our standard technique. It just says northeast there, it doesn't really give more detailed directions, but I'm assuming we're just heading in this general direction, taking out anything we face on the way there. The Dezolis enemies, Dezolian enemies, whatever you want to call them, they're all pretty weak at this moment. I'm not really worried facing any of them. In fact, a lot of them we can take out before they can do anything at all. It's just, you know, a waste of time more than anything. I think it is in, like, the far northeast corner, so I think we still need to continue going up. Again, it would be good if I bothered to get, like, a map of the location of the planet out, instead of just continuing forward like this, but, you know, what are you going to do? Hindsight's great. Aero tanks. I mean, we left off fighting an aero tank. They're a hugely annoying type of enemy. Just no one does any damage. I was talking about a couple of episodes earlier. I just find it really demotivating fighting one of these robots, because you just don't do anything to them. It's a chore. It's a massive chore fighting them. Just sitting there, like, chipping away at them, doing, like, you know, like that. 7 damage, 17 damage. 48 damage. Now you gotta go and heal everyone up. It's infuriating. Horrible type of enemy to fight. It gives a pretty decent amount of Meseta, but that's really it. Like, I don't really want to bother fighting them, you know? Banner gets the guy res. Kane gets the guy res. Great that we're using some of our all-important TP before we even enter the dungeon, but it's what it is. I reckon down this path, I reckon. No, I was wrong, it's not down that way. Looks like it's even further north. Again, really cigar map. Oh, come on! You guys take ages to kill, and I got a hit. Oh, I hate robots. Yeah, it was pretty much just a case of continuing in the direction we were heading. Anyway. Right, this is Guaron Tower. It is the largest dungeon in the game. 16 floors. The only benefit to that is that a lot of them are tiny, tiny, tiny. But in terms of sheer number of floors, this is the biggest the game gets. We are not actually going to begin on the path, because this is a situation where we are going to go and grab one of the optional chests in the dungeon. to grab a Laconinus, which is a great defensive item we're going to be given to Rudo. So for once we are going slightly off the beaten path. We don't need to go this way, and then we're just going to continue on the direction we needed to go. I've had to use a bunch of Trimates and a load of TP already, which is infuriating. But it is what it is. Right. And in this next room, we should see a chest. In this chest should be a Laconinus. There we are. We then want to grab the item. We want to give it to Rudo. Okay, but first of all, Rudo's going to have to... I love inventory management. Right, Rudo's going to have to give a Trimate to Rolf. Then Rolf's going to need to give the Laconinus to Rudo. And then Rudo needs to equip the Laconinus. And we should get a big defensive upgrade. So check the defense, 241. Right, he's already got Laconinus. Okay. Rudo's... Wait. Why didn't... Right, okay, give him the Laconinus. He had 2 already, so take it. Unequip him 1. The other. Right, and then go into items, grab Rudo, grab the Laconinus, give it to Kane. But except now... I love inventory management. Can you see how wonderful the whole having to have multiple inventories is? Okay. Rolf gets another Trimate. I love inventory management. I love inventory management. I love it when it's incredibly tedious. Right, Kane gets a Laconinus. Can Kane equip the Laconinus? Because I don't think... Okay, no, that's Rolf. Because I don't think he's already got a Laconinus, so this should be an upgrade. 168. 185. A fine upgrade. Probably not worth all the hassle and the immediate fight afterwards, but it's something. Right, deal with the wrestlers, take them out, and then we've got a lengthy path in front of us. Luckily one that we only have to go through once. I think that this might be a situation where we are better off doing both Nei items in one go, looking at the map, just because of the sheer amount of back and forth. Yeah, I think we're probably better off grabbing them both in one go. They're kind of on the same path. You take a slight detour at one stage as you keep going up, and then back to where you came. Am I stuck behind this guy? Yes. I get the hitboxes are really weird in this point. Oh, fine, we'll fight the Orangus. Just go away quickly, please. Just have the decency to get out of here. No, okay. God, I hate you guys. I hate you guys so much. Quite possibly one of the most boring battle systems I've ever seen in a JRPG. I've played a fair number of JRPGs, merely usually more in the monster collecting space than the traditional JRPG, but even so, like, this is ridiculously dull. Like, it's part of it's the fact that you just don't use techniques very often, but then it's a case of you don't use the techniques very often because you're generally better off not using the techniques. Right, and now finally, we're going to continue, we're going to start on the path of the actual dungeon. That was just a detour to grab that item. Now we're actually getting somewhere, fighting some Mr. Capes, getting some experience, Kane's leveling up. All good, I like this. This is how it's supposed to go. Hopefully people are hitting power levels. I think I explained the concept in an earlier episode, but basically the way the game works is that every couple of levels, the characters get massive upgrades way beyond what's typical of them. They're called power levels. It can be, you know, if the usual upgrade is maybe 2 extra points in any given stat, a power level can be something like 20. It's a really strange way of gauging your progress, but I'm really hoping that we're kind of hitting some of those, because it's going to make things a lot faster on our behalf. I think Anna must have hit one of them, because she's doing good work with Slasses, way more than she used to. Roast Paralyzed, that's fine. It wears off really quickly. It's not worth using the antidote to get rid of it. You know, like, it wears off in a turn or two. Maybe in like a high stakes boss fight it would be something, but at this stage, nah. Right, along here, we go through a bit of a forest here. It's a bit of a maze, but I don't think it's a particularly complicated one. Unless, of course, we keep running into encounters. Is the enemy encounter rate just really high here or something? This is ridiculous. 157, that's like what we like to see. Even if it's spread out among all of the opponents, it is at least nice seeing a big number. Big damage. Failed paralysis, so basically wasted a turn, that's what we like to see. Orangu gone, wrestlers on the way out. They're not very tanky. So long as all our other attacks hit, we should be good. Especially if he keeps trying to paralyze us and missing. 2,373 experience points. I'll take that. 2,373 points is a lot, even at our stage. Right, now we finally go down, head towards the building. Get stuck. Nothing unusual here. Don't go down any of those paths. We want to head over here. Head this way. Should be a staircase in this section. There it is. And here is the point where we start to see what most of this dungeon looks like. Big circles, pit in the middle, don't walk into the pit. And then it's just a case of going back and forth to head upstairs. You'll know when you finally hit the point that you need to change the path, change the direction. But for up until the 8th floor, this is what we're going to be doing. Just back and forth. We'll go on the 8th floor, we grab an item, we then head back over here, keep going up this staircase, up to the 15th floor, and that's, sorry, the 16th floor, and that's when we go and grab the final item. So it's a lot of this. From the sounds of it, the 2nd floor did have something on it, but it's not really worthwhile. It's a crystal chest plate. We've already gone past that, to my knowledge. I can check in the time between episodes, because I'll probably need to grind for the final 2, but I'm fairly certain we're past the need of crystal chest plates. I think that was for like the dams kind of area. Right, that's our first piece of Nei gear in this dungeon. Ooh, nasty. MX Dragon and a Miso Man. Right, at least we know how to deal with these guys now. It's Nafoy on the MX Dragon, and then everyone will attack him anyway because he's the first, so don't need to... Oh, damn it. Oh, sight. Right, Anna, yeah, it's not really worth you fighting the MX Dragon. You do basically nothing. The only people that's worthwhile fighting the MX Dragon is Rolf and Rudo. The other two of you are going to be doing nothing, so just grab a Trimate and heal up. Hope the Miso Man isn't actually suddenly really terrifying presence. But seeing as it's one of the wrestlers, I'm not really too worried about fighting it. But we are going to get Rolf just going back to normal attacks because we don't want to go and waste loads of TP because that attack is really expensive. Hopefully the Miso Man probably would go down a lot quicker if one of our main damage dealers could actually land an attack, but there we are. Nice bit of experience. Yeah, turns out the dragon's not too bad if you actually remember you have techniques to use. Funny that. I probably need to figure out what the new technique I learned was, but you know, it's what it is. Oh, great, another MX Dragon. That's nasty. What is the new technique? Nafan? I have no idea what that is. The Nas, like the third tier of spell in this game. Right, and as we've learned from this so far, it seems that only one Nafoi is good enough to basically put the MX Dragon at a commission. So we'll just get Rolf to use a basic attack. Yep. Okay. Turns out if you're willing to spare the TP, kind of a pushover. At the end of the day, we only need the TP to get a Hinas and maybe a Ryuka when we leave the dungeon. That's what we really need the TP for. So as long as we keep about 10 TP for that stage, I think we're pretty good going. There is unfortunately no way to really regain TP in a dungeon, which makes things a bit more annoying, but there we are. Right, Rolf and Rudo needs the Trimates. Right, and hopefully that's it for the rest of this route. Yep, slip through these statues. And there we are. Nei Cape. Right, we'll try and give this to Anna. I'm not exactly trusting it will work, because I think this is another one that, despite being a female character, she can't actually use. She really does get the short end of the straw when it comes to the Nei gear. I think this can only be used by Amy and Sia. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Nei Crown, Nei Cape. She gets to use 2 of the Nei items, one of them admittedly exclusive to her, and then one that really is a big trade-off. So it's like, really? Ooh, these guys are new. Firefalls. This could go very poorly, but let's hope for the best. Because I've never seen these guys before. Oh, okay. Oh, missed. Mostly missed. They're horrifying to look at, to be honest. I hate looking at them. But hopefully, I get the feeling they'll a big, like, attack all of your characters. Is the danger. So I imagine they could get nasty, but it is going well. I think we're holding our ground against them. They seem pretty tanky, but at least their kind of multi-character attack doesn't seem to be hugely damaging. Oh, come on, just go away. How much health do you have? Alright, well that's a load of Trimates down the drain. Somehow, Anna managed to avoid most of those attacks. I think she's got really high agility, so I think she's pretty good at avoiding taking damage. I think she's pretty mobile, pretty evasive. So I think that's why she generally manages to avoid attacks. And then I think in Kane's case, he just doesn't get attacked very often. Because he's the final member of our party, he's less likely to be attacked than everyone else. Right, kind of annoying to go straight into fighting another Firefall. But hopefully, just the fact that it's one of them makes the fight go by in half the time. Right, and there we go. Now Anna needs healing. Go away, go away, go away. Get out of here. There we are. Right, now Anna gets the healing. Trimate. Use. Anna. There we are. You can decide yourself whether it's good game balance or whether it's kind of a flaw of the game that really you don't use many healing techniques. You just end up by the end of the game just spamming your really cheap full heals that you buy from the store. Generally, I don't think the game's that great. I think it has aged very poorly. Much as people might argue otherwise, I do think it's pretty... I don't think you can really argue that it hasn't aged the best. Right, I think from this point on, we basically skip everything. We just go to the final floor, which luckily does seem to be a pretty short one. Grab our final Nei item, and that will be it for the episode. We'll grind up a little bit. Maybe I'll come in here to go and grab the other items just while I'm grinding. But I think once we heal up and we finally get off of this floor, I think we should be good. Alright, come on, let's get out of here. Back in the round tower, the tower in the Guaron Tower name. That's the 9th floor. There is a crystal cape here, but I think we can avoid it pretty much. And then, as always, just in case of going back and forth around the staircases, not falling into the pit, because otherwise it's a long walk back up. And then, of course, we'll know when we hit the final floor, because it'll change shape. So, largest dungeon in the game. Some dangerous enemies in it. But I think we've mostly avoided the really dangerous ones. And because we haven't needed to go and grab other items, it's been a pretty smooth sailing. Right, with that, we've reached the top. We head to the left, go around all the gargoyles. Random floor with a bunch of trees on it, but, you know, what's going on there? King Lava. That's just going to be an upgrade to the basic Firefall, isn't it? Hopefully it's not a huge buff to the HP. It looks like the damage is pretty high. Oh! Oh no! I was really worried about that. I noticed how damaged Rolf was, and then I was like, oh no, he's really damaged. Okay, it's a good thing we gave Cain that escape pipe, but now it's a case of getting to the town once we leave unscathed. Especially with our big damage dealer gone. Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Just die. Just die. Right, just give me 1 second. I'll be back in just a moment. I got a little bit hopeful there, because I know that there is one item in the game that can revive dead party members. Unfortunately, I thought it was the Star Mist. It's not, it's the Moon Dew. So, unfortunately, Rolf is still very much dead, which could be really quite annoying. But we'll equip the Nei armor to Rudo for a nice damage boost. Trimate can't be equipped, okay, yeah. We're going to heal everyone up. Cain, go and grab your Trimates and just heal everyone. Because everyone needs them. Then we're going to use the escape pipe to get out of the dungeon and hope that if we flat-foot it to the town, the game's not going to screw us over just because our magic cap wearing character is dead. I really feel it probably is going to, which is going to make things incredibly annoying. But there we are. Even if that is the case, I'll end the episode there and I'll just go and grab it in between episodes, because, I mean, we've completed the dungeon. You've seen me pick up the final thing in the dungeon. But there we are. Right, item, Cain, escape pipe. I use it. We're out of the dungeon. Now we just need to get back to the town and hope it doesn't screw us over there. But I'm not... I'm really hoping the Clone Labs is not affected by the magic cap like everything else is. But I'm not looking forward to finding out, because I really think it probably is. Of all of the party members it had to attack, it had to be Rolf as well. That's the infuriating thing. You know, if Anna was taken out of that state, whatever. If Cain was taken out of that state, whatever. If Rudo was taken out of that state, I wouldn't really mind, but it's just the fact you had to take out the one guy who has, you know, the ability to escape from a dungeon, the ability to teleport back to town, the ability to talk to people in the town. It's like, ugh, really? You really screwed me over here, game. And again, you might think just to use the Visiphone, but in this area, the Visiphone really does lose its usefulness, because it means you're going to have to go back to PSII, you're going to have to deal with everything there. Now we're fighting gun busts. Wonderful. They're a tanky group of enemies, especially when one of our main damage dealers is dead. Again, this is why I really love the Ryuka ability, so that you can just ignore all of this, because this is really quite tedious. Especially when our other main damage dealer is missing all of his attacks. Come on, just get it over with. Just take him out. Come on, come on. There we are, nearly done, nearly done. Nope, nowhere near nearly done. Just get it over with, come on. Speed it up. Put your back into it. There we are. Loads of experience points, loads of Meseta, but it doesn't matter because there's a fair chance that we might need to go and reset the game anyway. And I think it's in this nook? Yes. Right. You're kidding me. Get out of here, you stupid bastard rabbiters. Come on. Go away. Come on. It's the strangest thing, you only ever seem to see them really close to a town. I never see them, like, just out in the open, in the overworld. Even when I'm grinding, they only spawn when I'm on my way back to town. Right, moment of truth. It doesn't bode well, but I'm hoping for the best. Clone Lab. Walk into it. Oh my god. Please, please. Yes, I will pay for Rove to be returned. Okay. Again, I really did not think that they would let us revive Rove. I really did think they would just be like, I can't talk to you, you don't have the Mojic cap on. Oh my god. Wow. That's a lucky break. If anything else, I really do think they would have just been like, yeah, bad luck. Go and reset. But we get here, we get the hospital, we heal up. We don't need to go and do that entire dungeon again. It's wonderful. Life is good. But yeah, with that final massive relief there, I'm going to say that the episode is over. We have got the first 4 Nei items. We've equipped all of them we can. We've given the offsuits to Anna, who's apparently doesn't want to wear all of the female gear. She's the only female character who can't wear any of it. But, you know, is what it is. But yeah, in the next episode, we take on the next 2 dungeons of the game. I believe that they're called Ikuta and something else I can't remember. 2 really annoying dungeons, apparently, but we'll see what they're like in the next episode. For now, I would like to say thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. Tune in next time, but for now, ciao.